Your spring forecast coming up at 20 past. Now, back to the conversation with Matt Patrick.
It is 6:16. Thank you so much for making us a part of your morning. We certainly do appreciate that. Daniel Miller, Texas Nationalist Movement president, is a guy I've enjoyed talking with Daniel. We've sparred back and forth over the years. We agree on some things, disagree on some things, and I just enjoy talking with him. So we've invited him to the show. Scotland, Daniel, is going to be voting on Thursday whether to secede from the UK. And there's a lot of folks in Texas that are pointing to that and saying, see, if they can do it, we should be able to do it here in Texas. So I'll throw that ball to you. Now, obviously, the legal ramifications between Scotland and Texas are completely different. The histories are completely different. The situations are completely different. But when you look at Scotland voting to secede from the UK, does it give you a little encouragement that you're headed in the right direction?
Well, absolutely. You know, the principle that the Texas Nationalist movement has held out for the longest time, and we've been, back even when we were the only ones beating the drum for this, is that the drive to self-determination and independence is a global trend. And, you know, we continually quote the statistic, excuse me, that at the end of World War II, there were 54 recognized countries. At the end of the 20th century, there were 192. And so this global trend is being exerted in Scotland. Now the impact that the Scottish secession vote has on Texas is that simply we look at Scotland and we see that Scotland is even more tightly integrated into the UK than Texas is into the United States. And so for Scotland to assert itself, its self-determination, its right of independence, its national character, and successfully negotiate its way and legislatively and peacefully work its way to a referendum that could see Scotland's exit from the UK should definitely give hope for us here in Texas.
All right, so, but we don't know what's going to happen yet, and we've had a lot of people weighing in. The Queen, not that she has any kind of political clout over there or anything. I don't even understand why they still have the Queen. But she's, cautioned them, and others have said, look, be very, very careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And I think, the same could be said for Texas. Will you watch what happens in Scotland, and if it turns bad, will you also say, maybe we should learn something from that?
Well, there are a lot of lessons to be learned, and what we have told our membership and our supporters is that the up or down vote in Scotland has lessons for both of us, but it has necessarily no impact. I think the story that comes out of let's say that the Better Together campaign wins. I think the lesson for us here is that the depths that the anti-independence crowd will stoop to, outright misinformation, lies, and fear-mongering to stop a people from exerting their self-determination. I mean, let's face it. What's happened over there is the Better Together campaign has rolled out their I guess the British equivalents of their George Clooney's. To go out there and try to beat it down. And what's happened is the Yes campaign, the coalition with the Scottish National Party and all the other folks that are on board with the Scottish independence vote, have gone out there and laid out a phenomenal case based on not only Scotland's right to assert itself, but its future prosperity, and laid out facts.
All right, let me, and again, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Two very, very different situations, but at this point, the people that want to secede from the United States and Texas are at a minority in Texas. But I think a lot of people watch these kinds of things just to see what happens, and I enjoy having these discussions with you. I still don't think it's something that we should ever even consider. But I enjoy, as you know, having these discussions with you, and I look forward to our next one, Mr. Miller.
Well, Matt, the bottom line is that whatever happens on Thursday, no one is going to know what the results of that are going to be until the Scots go to the polls and vote. The yes vote has consistently polled behind the no vote up until about a week ago. So you still got double-digit undecideds over there, but regardless of what that vote turns out to be, Texans can draw both information and inspiration out there And the Texas Nationalist movement is just super happy and super proud to be a part of this historic moment for Scotland.
Daniel, thank you, my friend. Good talking with you. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks, Matt.
You better believe it. All right, let's take a look at traffic and weather together.